The coronavirus crisis now perhaps triggering even tighter travel restrictions on top of what's already in place for China, Italy, Iran, and South Korea.
Yes, we are to certain countries where they have more of a breakout.
Can you elaborate on specifically what countries you're looking at?
The nature of the European Union is one doesn't require a passport to move around, so our task force spoke today about new cases, and there were some in several European countries. We're following that very closely.
Few specifics so far as the president huddled with top pharmaceutical executives who promised to push to develop a virus vaccine that's still at minimum months away. On Wall Street, better news. Stocks soaring after last week's coronavirus sell-off. The Dow's biggest points gain just 4 days after its biggest points drop ever. The White House considering tax cuts to try and stimulate the economy, according to an official familiar with the discussions, though the president's pointing at the Federal Reserve.
I'm sure the Fed is looking at it. I hope the Fed is looking at it. They should be, but a lot of the central banks are looking at it for stimulus.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are hammering out details of a compromise that would direct billions to the coronavirus response, while the president is again accusing Democrats of fear-mongering. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says it's President Trump spending more time playing the blame game.
The president is downplaying. He is downplaying the threat of the coronavirus to a dangerous degree.
With the White House hoping to show they're fully focused on the crisis, a messaging blitz planned for this week. From daily briefings expected to a visit to NIH headquarters tomorrow, and later this week, meetings with CEOs of airlines and cruise lines. And while NBC News has learned that FEMA has been preparing for a possible emergency declaration by President Trump, the president says today he does not think a national emergency is necessary right now, although he's not ruling it out in the future.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.